Welcome to Swolehammer. Even though we love the frantic style of Warcry or the sci-fi skirmish gameplay of Kill Team, there's something to be said about just having a big army and doing mass fantasy warfare. So that's why I'm starting this new series, Starting Sigmar. The mission is simple. I really just like to help people get into Warhammer. It's my favorite hobby and it's given me so much, so I love to give back. So we're here to make 1,000-point armies, the minimum competitive size, and help new players make a fun and efficient list, while also making everything easy to acquire and an enjoyable process to build and paint. Some of the criteria: we avoid making lists with repeat models unless it's unavoidable. I really hate when people say, oh, buy the same Start Collecting or Vanguard box twice and then you're done. That's just not engaging to me. Models also need to be easily accessible, whether in a Games Workshop store or online on Amazon, however you like to buy your models. And then also, all models that we suggest are in plastic, no old resin or metal materials. This also goes with just the ease of build and usage. So for our first edition of Starting Sigmar, we're starting at the beginning of 3rd edition with the new Orruk Warclans and the Ironjawz. So why would you play Ironjawz? Well, if you like orcs, you want to go fast and hit hard, Ironjawz are some of the best at doing so, if not the best. They have some tricks and also magic to back them up as well, so they're not a one-note army in the slightest. And let's be honest, it's just hard to pass up calling a war on turn 1. Now on to the buy list. These are things that we suggest to purchase to coincide with the list we'll make later in this video. Starting off, the Start Collecting Ironjawz. There's no new Orruk Warclans Vanguard box, so the Start Collecting Ironjawz is still a very good deal. You get a War Chanta, 10 Ardboys, and 3 Gore-Gruntas. And to my knowledge, this is the only way to easily get Gore-Gruntas just in a box in a store. Next, we have a Mega Boss on foot. Great sculpt, not always used, but he'll play into what we're trying to do later. And then lastly, the big one, the big centerpiece of your army, the giant Mega Boss on Maw Crusher, also known as the Big Ol' Cabbage. This is just a fantastic unit and will be the absolute beast that will take down your opponents. Now here are the prices for each of those items. The cheaper prices are the ones that I found on Amazon. I don't always buy on Amazon, even though it is 15% cheaper usually. Below is the MSRP or what you will find on Games Workshop's website. This is just a general guideline. Do what you want, but getting this army for $230 is a total bargain. And lastly, we put it all together into a list. This is what we would suggest you run for a fun, hard-hitting Ironjawz time. You take the Mega Boss on Maw Crusher, put it as your general. You have your Orruk War Chanter from the Start Collecting box, the Orruk Mega Boss that you got separate on foot, and then you have your battle line, the Gore-Gruntas, and 5 of the 10 Ardboys you got in the Start Collecting. Your Gore-Gruntas will be battle line because they are the Bloodtooth sub-faction as we put here. Now there are a lot of good artifacts and command traits, but I suggest you look at that on your own. I don't want this to be a guide on telling people how to play their game, but this is just a general rubric on a fun and efficient way to get into Sigmar with Ironjawz. Secondarily, I helped my Swolehammer compatriot Riley get into Ironjawz, as pictured throughout this video, using a similar list. It was also Bloodtooths, but instead of a Mega Boss, we got a Weird Knob Shaman and the Malign Sorcery box and put a generic Endless spell, in this case Ravenex Rashing Jaws, into the list. This was just for some magic oof and other shenanigans. The only reason I didn't do that exact list is because the Malign Sorcery box is only on GW's website and not even available really from eBay, or it's hard to acquire. So that's why this list is what I ended up going with. So that's it. If you have any questions about our choices, any suggestions of your own, or a 3rd edition army you'd like to see us tackle for this series, please let us know in the comments. As always, this is Rafiq from Swolehammer. Stay swole.